Previously on Building the Ultimate Backyard Campsite, we purchased gravel, broke a wheelbarrow, and upgraded the campsite access trail, which brings us to today. First off, we took some deadfall logs I found in the woods and used them to define the edges of our campsite area. This will help hold the gravel back for now, but they'll eventually rot away. Then I took out my weed whacker, brought everything that was growing down to ground level, and then cranked up the music and started off a wheelbarrow moving montage. So we've got most of the dirt in for the tent pad. We need maybe 6 or 7 more wheelbarrow fulls to get to the point where the tent pad half of this area is full. That's about all the energy we have for today. So hopefully tomorrow's the day that we can finish this tent pad. I hope, because I've moved way too much gravel. And now I gotta go jump on the trampoline with the skidder. Black fly flew down my throat while that was happening. I'm glad I'm getting this done now before summer is in full swing, because this is sweaty enough as it is. All right, guys, do you think this spot's big enough for the tent?
No, definitely not.
So when we were working on the existing trail, building that up, we knew that that was all well packed down from us walking on it so long. But now that we're kind of covering over this new, like, untouched swampland, wanted to make sure the dirt was packed down as tight as we could get it so that the ground would be less squishy. So I invested in one of these. This is a tamp. This is 8" by 8", and this is a heavy, basically a heavy, thick piece of sheet metal on the end of a stick that you just pound into the ground to get it packed down. So that's what we're gonna do to get this packed down nice and solid so that it doesn't go anywhere and the ground doesn't get so bouncy. Although if you're sleeping in a tent on it, that might not be a bad thing. The whole of our tent pad section is filled in, but as you can see up there, we're getting low on dirt. And I don't know if it's gonna be enough to finish off this whole side. So before we finish this and set up a tent to see if it fits well, we want to rake this out just because we packed it all in good, but we want to smooth it out, make sure it's nice and smooth. Maybe see if we can pull a little bit more dirt this way to kind of inch our way a little bit that way, farther that way, because if I can get by without having to get another truckload of dirt delivered this summer, that would be ideal. Also, this tree here, depending on how the tent fits, we might take it out, but I thought if we don't have to take it out, I kind of like to leave it just so that it gives a little bit more shade in the area so that the tent doesn't get super hot over the course of the day. There's nothing worse than a hot tent. You want it to be nice and cool, so a little bit of any shade I can get is definitely gonna help. Oh man, it's getting hot out here today. But as you can see now, that looks a little bit flatter, a little bit roughed up, but it'll pack back down. The main bulk of it's still packed, that's what's important. And we've got it all tapered over that way slightly, just so that we want water to not pool on here. We want it to go that way. But also the type of gravel this is, it should drain really well. Now nothing's left but to set up the tent, see how it fits. That fits in the space a little bit better than I thought it would. Got tent there facing where our fire pit's gonna be, and then a little bit of space to spare over here. My only concern is we haven't staked it down for this demonstration, but this can get tied out with no problem, but there's a similar strap on the other side that you need to pull out and tie to something to get proper ventilation in there, and that will tie it right across the trail. So we'll have to figure out another way to do that. We could always put like a put a stake in the ground to tie it to, but we've got plenty of pathway coming along here to get back to the house. And we could always add more gravel here and widen the pad out this way a little bit if necessary. But as of right now, that looks exactly how I imagined it. It's got a little bit of shade from those trees. That means the next step is going to be coming over here and bringing a lot more gravel down to get the fire pit going. When we do get to making that video, it'll be right up over here. Until then, we'll have our last video from the series right down here. Until next time, get out there and have a fun-sized adventure of your own. In your own backyard, go camping. Have fun. Bye-bye.
And beyond.
And beyond?